Hello everyone, it's Trobsmonkey. You probably thought I disappeared off a cliff or something, but no, I'm still around. I'm making content. Hi, welcome in. Welcome to my review of MythForce. Well, early access review of MythForce, let's be real. It's in early access. It's not a complete game, but we're going to treat it like it is one. Welcome in. I'm glad you've decided to come watch this video and just give me a few minutes. We're going to talk about a game I honestly I'll spoil the lead for you. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. We'll talk about it in a moment. I just want to say it's good to be back. We'll be having more content coming down the aisle soon. If there's any games that are out that you're interested in that you'd like to see me cover, let me know. Comment down below. Otherwise, let's jump right in, shall we? So MythForce. MythForce is, let's get to the basics. It is a dungeon crawler. This is not your typical 4v horde game. This is a dungeon crawler. If you try to run it and run and gun it from the start, you're going to die. You're going to die a lot. Now, I'm going to say this is more slow-paced. You have your prototypical fighter, hunter, archer, mage, and rogue types. You have standard skeletons, lizardmen, spore people, the whole thing. They come out, they want to duke it with you. You gotta fight your way through to get to the bad guys. It's based on 80s cartoons. It's fantastic in style. It's fantastic with the lines they give. Honestly, the entire setting in this game is phenomenal. Just top to bottom, wonderful. I love it. Can't get enough of it. There's the UI is wonderful. The characters smile, they groan, they get damaged when they're hurt. So the whole time their portraits are changing. Everything's fun. The only real gripe I have with the UI is the pop-up for timers are at the bottom of the screen when the action's in the middle of the screen. You have many things that they only last for a second or two, so they pop up and then they're gone. And you're like, okay. That's kind of annoying. But otherwise, I love the UI. Everything looks neat. The one complaint I have on visuals, because the visuals otherwise vary in theme. So we have cool effects and everything, but the complaint is the effects will block your line of sight. When you're in a melee character, that becomes a problem when you're trying to fight, and suddenly you can't see anything because there's a fire explosion or a poison or what have you going off. But otherwise, everything fits. Nothing feels out of place. Everything is just the right piece at the right time. It's wonderful. It's a lot of fun. And more importantly than just looking good, it plays good. I love the combat in this game. There's a lot of dodging, timely blocks. You can pull out a bow on any character. You can pull out a spell book on any character. Obviously, you're not going to be strong with a mace if you're the mage, but you can pull one out at the last second if you need it. That sort of stuff is fantastic. A couple little gripes with combat here and there, but otherwise it's pretty good. I enjoy it quite a bit. And honestly, I really need to give praise to the rogue gameplay. So Rico is the rogue in this game, and I have played many a rogue in many a game, and many games try. But you never get to feel really powerful with your backstabs. In this game, you get to feel powerful with your backstabs, and I just love that. It makes me warm and happy to know that I can walk up behind the enemy and just two-shot him. It feels great. So kudos for making rogue gameplay a lot of fun. All right. Well, we have good things I could praise all day, but let me get into what I don't like about this game. So I could praise this game all day, but you don't just want to listen to a game and just hear a review of a game and hear nothing but the good parts. You want to hear what I don't like, and there's a few things. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, the hitboxes make combat annoying. Now, as I've said, I've played Rogue, and I honestly have played a lot of Rico. He's a lot of fun, but there's a few things that irritate me. Namely, occasionally your attacks will miss, even though there's no sense that your attack just missed. Hitbox problems. And occasionally, the lizardmen, especially, will reach back to swing at an enemy in front of them and kill you in one shot while swinging back, reaching behind them to swing around on the enemy in front of them. And that's just irritating that when you're behind something, you die. Now, that being said, I love a good cleave mechanic if there's a warning or something, but when you're behind a target in melee, you generally expect you'll be safe. That was not the case many times. To go along with that, the plants have extremely large explosions in some areas, as well as the traps have a much bigger hitbox and much smaller hitbox at times than you might expect. And I've died to fire to do that a number of times. So hitboxes kind of ruin the experience at times. Otherwise, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not something I'm like, oh, this is the worst. It's just like, stupid. Died to a lizard again. Sort of stuff. It's minor things. It's just frustrating when it happens. Next up, this is a combination thing that just is a little annoying. But it's, again, none of this, in my opinion, is anything that will decimate the game experience. But these are things that could definitely improve the game experience. This one is the RNG, the roguelike elements, if you will. And I'm all for roguelike elements. And here's the but. This game feels very and totally random. And that's fine and dandy. Except for the fact that you're running a group combat. And when you're running, if you're one person having to come up with unique strats, it's fine. When you're 4 people having to come up with unique strats, the difficulty ramps up. And that's not to say that some people don't enjoy that, but if no one on the team is ever getting something that they truly enjoy, that truly makes them feel powerful, the run becomes less fun for everyone involved. If you don't have a truly powerful character, it's not as much fun, at least for me. You can handicap yourself, and that's fine. There's fun ways to go about that in a lot of roguelikes. But a part of roguelikes, in my opinion, is when you get to be powerful and you get to be like, yeah, we got the power now. We're gonna smack some guys around. That doesn't always happen. That's kind of the appeal of these games, is sometimes you just suck. But I will say in MythForce, it feels like more often than not, I'm presented with choices that I don't enjoy, that aren't fun for the run, for the gameplay. And for example, you are presented when you level with an option of an attribute and a perk. You do not always get attributes that are useful for you. As a mage, ideally, you're getting things like magic attack, magic defense maybe, physical defense maybe, if you want to be a little less squishy, health, stamina, and mana. And it, depending on the order, depends on what you want. But I have very often gotten all of melee. It's melee attack, stamina, health. Okay, I guess you could go for the stamina or the health, but they're not truly pushing your magic power forward. And the mage without more magic power starts to feel a little weak later on. So it's one of those things that feeling more powerful helps. And you don't feel more powerful all the time. And again, it's not a consistent thing. It's not like every run, but it is consistent enough that my core group of players have all noted it separately. Additionally, the perks are not always strong. So it's not just attributes. Sometimes you don't get strong perks. It takes a really long time to get Glass Cannon as Rico sometimes. And it's one I always want to take because I like big numbers. That's just a personal preference thing. But if you could guarantee Glass Cannon, devs, I'm just saying, I would enjoy it. And so that's one. I'll look for more people that enjoy it. Anyway. And the last thing, as far as the RNG, that just, this is a pure opinion, absolute speculation on my part, but I think the gameplay, the combat would be more fun. I can't say in terms of balance. I'm not a game developer. I'm just an armchair reviewist. I think the combat would be more fun if on-hit effects were much more frequent and didn't require things such as on full health. There are perks as well as hit effects that on full health you'll do an effect. I think it'd be a lot more fun if those effects were on hit rather than if they're at full health. If you're going to have an on-hit effect, just let it be an on-hit effect. Don't make it a second status effect, at least not in this game. I don't think this game is deep enough to require a second status. I think it makes it more complex without making it more fun. And being able to hit a target one time with corruption isn't very fun because the corruption eventually falls off. If I could keep the corruption up with a weakened dagger or a weakened mace or a weakened sword or whatever, my weapon's not very strong, but I can keep the enemy debuffed, especially on boss fights or rooms with really tough enemies, like when you hit the lizardmen wall before you might have good weapons, and lizardmen can be really tough. Having a corruption weapon that can weaken them is the sort of thing that can liven up the gameplay. This is my opinion. I think it'd be more fun. I like setting things on fire and poisoning them and corrupting them and freezing them, and you get the gist. It's a lot more fun if you have a weapon and you can do it. It's a lot of fun, especially for melee-oriented classes or builds. So That's my only other really big complaint is the RNG stuff. There's little things. It's an early access game. I can talk in depth. I'll do another video where we can talk in depth about the things. But let me wrap this up. So final thoughts on the matter. If you like dungeon crawler games, if you like Vermintide-esque games, if you like punching things in the face with weapons and magic and archers, bows, they're bows. They're called bows, Trops. They're called bows. Archer magic. Having bows or whatever weapons you come across within the thicket of MythForce, I think this game's a lot of fun. If you enjoy these things and you don't mind the early access tag, jump on it. It's a great time. If the price tag's too much for you, if you're not into early access games, if it's not your game type, wait it out, see what develops. Personally, I'm going to advocate for it. I like this game. I've already put like 2.5 days played in it, and it came out like 2 weeks ago. So I've put a little bit of time on it, 48 hours, and so 2 full days out of the last 14. So that's pretty decent. I have a decent opinion on the game now. I like it. Go play it. That's my official opinion. Go play it. It's a great game. If you like the fact that I gave you this official opinion, like this video, subscribe to this channel, comment down below. I hate to be that guy, but the only way I'm able to grow as a creator is if you're able to engage with my content and let me know that you enjoy such things, and we're able to let more people come in here. So make sure you do those things. I appreciate your time. Go play MythForce. If you're into these things, go play MythForce. Trust me, I will not lead you astray on this one. I'll lead you astray on many, many things, especially good food, because I have terrible opinions on food. I will give you the worst opinions on food, but I'll give you a great opinion on games right here. Here's a good opinion on games. Go play MythForce. It's a great game. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. My name's Trobsmonkey. I'll see you soon.